Welcome back to Libratress YouTube channel. In today's class, I'm going to be teaching you how to make this beautiful Harem balloon pants that we have here. So you can see it has a band, it has a zipper fly, and also it has this lovely cowl effect by this side. So it has on this side and it also has on the other side as well. It has an elastic band at the back. I'll take you through how to cut and sew this using the freehand method. We're not going to be using patterns for this. If this is something you would like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. So I'm using this crepe fabric. You are going to be using freehand method. There are several ways to cut this cowl pant. You can use the slash and spread method, but you know, as usual, I always like to use the simplest method. So this is going to be freehand. You are going to be cutting directly on the fabric. So the first thing we need to note is the length of the pant. So for me, I want the pant to be long, so I'm going to be working with around 43 inches for my length. Okay, and then once you know your length, this length I'm going to be adding around 7 inches to it. You understand the reason why I added this when we are cutting it on the fabric. So if I had 43 plus 7, that is going to give me 50 inches. Okay, so from this you can even remove the measurement of your band, but let's take it a step at a time so that we will not get confused. So now that means I'm going to be measuring out 50 inches in two places from my fabric. So this is the fabric I'm working with. Now I'm going to measure 50 inches times 2. I've already measured it and cut out. I'll just show you so that you will see what we are working with. Can you see? This is on fold by 2 and I have 50 inches here. Okay, 50 inches. That's what I have. So because we are going to be folding in front of a triangle, and it's going to be a perfect triangle. So this is what we are going to be folding. Assuming this is my fabric, I make sure that I have 50 inches here and 50 inches here, so that when I fold it, it's going to form like a perfect triangle. So this fabric is still by 60. So what I'm going to do now is to cut the length. I'll reduce the length from 60. I'll reduce it to 50 inches. So I'll just put it on fold by 2 like this, and then I'll measure out 25. Of course, 25 inches in two places is going to give me 50 inches. So the leftover here, I'll just cut it off. Okay, so it's folded now. I'm going to cut off the excess 10 inches. So I'm going to keep this aside. That's what I'm going to be using for my zipper fly and the band. So we are cutting this so that we can have a perfect triangle when we fold the triangle. So if your length is 45, it means you cut 45 on your length and width. If it's 60, you cut like that. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So now that I have it like this, the next thing is to fold in front of the triangle. So I'll just simply fold like this. Okay, and I will have a perfect triangle. Can you see? Because it's 50 on the length and 50 on the breadth. I have folded it. You can see my table is small. Can you see? It's a perfect triangle. Okay, so for the sake of clarity, I'm going to be explaining with this paper. So what you need is to measure your length. In this case, we are working with 50 inches. So I'm going to measure 50 inches like this and then fold into 2. So that is 100 on fold. You are going to have 50 here, 50 here. Okay, that is the total that we are going to be using for the pants. 50 here and 50 here, 100, but once you fold it, it becomes 50. So you are going to measure that on your yardage side. Remember, your yardage can be as much as 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards. You are going to get that. So what I'm saying is that what you have here, the 50 inches you have here, is what you are going to be having on the length. You need to have a perfect square so that when you fold in form of your triangle, it's going to be perfect. So for this paper now, I have 18 inches here. Can you see? So if I measure the length as well, I'm going to have exactly 18 inches as well. So once I have it, the next thing I'm going to do is to fold in form of a triangle, just like this. So once you fold this, you will see that it is exactly the same because we are using the same thing for the length and the width. So once you fold it, this is how it's going to be. This close part is going to be your side. This part is going to be your waist, and this part is going to be your center front. Okay, so this is also going to double as the length of your pants. So this is how it is going to be. Okay, this is the side, the close part, this is the waist, and this is the center fold, which is also the length of your pants. So once you get that, on the length area, you are going to come here and measure your crotch. So for your crotch, you just need to divide your hip by 4. Hip divided by 4, whatever you have. If you want the crotch area to be loose, you can add 1 or 2 inches to it. So once you measure your hip divided by 4, you are going to mark that here. So for the crotch extension, you divide your hip by 16. Whatever you have, you can have between 2, 2.5, 3, or 3.5 for very big hips. So whatever you have, if you have 3 inches, you measure that 3 inches from here inwards, and then you have it here. You do the same thing on your waist, and then you have a straight line. Okay, so to get your crotch curve, you can just measure 1 inch here, 1 inch here, and then you use that to create your curve. Do you understand that? So that is what you are going to have. So once you have that, the next thing is to measure the length of your pant. So if you are using a band, you can take out your band and then measure the remaining length of your pants. So for me, it was 43 and it stopped around here. So you are going to measure that straight here, and then you check what you have. Of course, it should be up to what you have on your round ankle. Is a pencil mouth, so it's going to be. So once you have it like this, this is where your length is going to stop. This is the hem of your pants. So let me cut that. So this is the hem of our pants, and this is the crotch of the pants. Okay, so we have our hem and we have our crotch. So everything we still have here is our waist. So it depends on how full your pants you want your pants to be. If you want your pants to be very, very full, you can leave it as it is. But you can see on the thumbnail, the waist is not so full. So because of that, I'm going to measure. You can measure your hip measurement here, or your waist multiplied by 2, waist multiplied by 3, depending on whatever it is that you want, basically. So the waist that I'm working with for this is 30. So I'm going to just multiply the waist by 2, and I'm going to have 60 inches. Okay, waist is 30 multiplied by 2 is going to give me 60 inches. So because I have a fold of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to divide this 60 by 4, and I will have 15 inches. So what I'm going to do, from my crotch area here, I'm going to come in by 15 inches. I'll show you all this on the fabric. I'm going to come in by the 15 inches of whatever it is that you want for yours. So now the next thing is to connect this to the side. So there are 2 ways you can connect it. You can either connect it straight like this, or you just form like a cowl effect here. Okay, this is going to give you more fullness. This is also going to be full, but imagine you having this excess, so it's just going to create more fullness for you. So this is the one I'm going for. So once I connect it like this, I'm just going to grab my scissors, and then I will cut this out. So this is the final look of my pant. This is what my pant is going to look like. Like I said, you can also make it straight like this, or you can even connect it more, and you can even open this side. But for me, I'm not going to be opening this side. I just connected like this, and that is how I'm going to cut it. So that is it. That is all you need to do for your pants. When you open it up, this is what you are going to have. So this part that is still closed on the waist, I'm just going to go ahead and open it out. So this is what we have. This is what we have. This is the waist, this is the crotch, this is the length of the pants, and this is the hem. So by the time your cowl drop, your hem is going to become straight like this. So now let me bring the fabric so that we can see it. I have folded it. You can see my table is small. Can you see? It's a perfect triangle, just like this. So again, if you want to fold, this is my side, this is my waist, and that is my length. So now the first thing we're going to do is on the length, which is here. I'm going to come to the length area here, and then I will measure my crotch. So to measure your crotch, you need to divide your hip by 4 if you don't know how to get the length of your crotch. So the hip I'm working with is 44. 44 divided by 4 is going to give me 11 inches. So here I'm going to mark 11 inches. Can you see? I'm marking 11 inches exactly. I'm not adding to it because I'm still going to add a 1.5 inches band. Okay, so by the time I add that, it's going to balance it out. But if you want it to be free, so you can add extra one and a half or 2 inches to it, then you are going to take that out from your actual measurement. So because I'm not taking it out, I just marked the 11 inches here, and then when I add the band, it's going to balance it out. So the next thing is to mark your crotch extension. So to mark your crotch extension, you just need to simply divide your hip by 16. So your round hip measurement, you divide that by 16, and whatever it is that you have is going to be your crotch extension. So you are going to mark that as well. So once you mark your crotch length and your crotch extension, you are going to connect them together like this, and then you are going to use that to form your crotch curve here like this. So here on this corner, you can just come up by 1 inch, and then you place your curve ruler, and then you create your crotch curve just like this. Okay, so that is my crotch curve. So now that I have this, I can go ahead and cut out my crotch curve. I'm putting this pin so that it does not shift. Okay, so now we have cut that. The next thing is to measure the length of your pant. Okay, remember I said I want it to be 43 inches in length. So I'll take my ruler now, and then I'll measure that. So from the upper part here, I'm going to take out my allowance for the elastic band. Remember, I'm using 1.5 inches elastic band, but I'll still need to join by half inches here. So this is where I'm going to be placing it, and then I'll measure the 43 inches that I want to work with for my crotch, for my length. So this is where the 43 inches is. So that was why I said you should add extra 7 inches to your 50 inches. Can you see? Can you see? So it's here. Now you just need to make sure that what you have here is enough for your round ankle. So my round ankle is around 12 inches, and I have 14 inches here. So that is fine for me. So now what I'm going to do is to just cut it out there. Okay, I'm going to cut it out. So this is my round ankle, this is my crotch. Okay, so this is the shape. You can see this is our crotch. From the crotch, I measured 15 inches like this, and then I connected it in a circular way to the side. Like I said, if you want, you can connect it straight. So this is our side. It's still closed. If you want to open yours, you can open it, but I just want to leave mine closed like this. And that is the hem. So from here to here is the length of my trouser. That is the hem of the trouser. This is the side of the trouser. It is closed. This is the waist. And then after measuring the 15 inches, I just connected in a circular way to join the side of my pant. So the next thing now is to go ahead and start sewing. Open the pant up like this. So once I open it up, you can see what it looks like. So I'll go ahead and sew the crotch first. I'm going to sew the crotch. This is the crotch. So you are going to sew it like this. That's the back. For the front, I'm going to sew a little bit because it's going to have a zipper. I have sewn it. Can you see? I stopped sewing here. So this part of the front is still opened because I'm going to put a zipper in front like that. So after sewing the crotch, the next thing to sew is this side, the curved side that will open. So to do that, you are going to open it up like this. You are going to open your pants up like this, and then you're going to sew from your waist to that part, from your waist, from the 15 inches waist here to where you join this by the side. You are going to sew that part close as well. Can you see? I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and then I will sew it like this. You do the same thing for the other side as well. You are going to sew from here, from your waist all the way to where your cuff stop by the side. You are going to sew that. So after sewing that, the next thing is to join the under of the pants. Can you see? I hope it's making sense now. So this is your inseam for your pants. So after sewing that cuff, we are going to come here now and join the inseam of our pant. So after joining this, you can see that the hem of the pant now is straight. It's no longer looking like V shape. So we are going to join the inseam of the pant. So I'll do all of that now, then we are going to pleat the waist back to our measurement. Okay, so I have sewn it. You can see this is the curve for the side. So I sew from my waist all to where I stop. So if you open yours to the hem, you are going to sew to the hem, but this is where my stops, and that is where I stop sewing. So this is the other side as well. I did the same thing. I sew from my waist to the curve, and this is where it stops. So that is what we have. And then for the under area of the pant, the inseam, you sew from here all the way to this place. So this is what we have. This is what the pant looks like now. So now the next thing is to work on the waist. So this waist, remember, we have 60 inches here, and the actual waist is 30 inches. So this is the front. I stopped sewing here because I'm going to be putting a zipper at the center front here. So we still have 30 inches. So to do that, let me turn it to the right side. To take it back to your actual waist measurement, you can either pleat or gather. Okay, you can either pleat it to your waist measurement or gather to your waist measurement. So for me, I'm going to be pleating the front, and then for the back I'm going to be gathering it with elastic. So now if I want to pleat it, there is a pattern I want my cowl to follow, which is here. So I'm going to be pleating towards the side, towards the cowl area. So I'll make my first pleat around here. You can make as many pleats as you want. So this is the front. I'm pleating only the front. For the back, I'm going to be gathering. You can make 2 or 3 pleats. It's totally up to you and how you want it to be. So these are the pleats. Remember, there's still going to be a zipper here. So I'm just putting a very small pleat here. I can reduce the width of this one as well, so that it's not going to be so wide. Okay, so you can see how small it is looking now. So I'll go over to the second side of the front, and then I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll pleat towards the side. You can see where my pleat is facing. It's facing the side. So the same 3 pleats that I did on the first side, that is what I'm going to be doing on the second side as well. So I'll pleat this part as well, like this, just a small pleat, and then I'll make my third pleat here. So you can see how small it is looking. So I'll check to see that I have the same thing on both sides. If I don't have the same thing, I'm going to repeat it. Can you see? Okay, so now that's the front. So for the back, like I said, I'm going to be using elastic to gather the back. So I will just hold this pleat with a stitch, then you're going to create the zipper fly and the band. Okay, so it is all done now. You can see this is the zipper fly, this is the band. So when I was filming the tutorial on the zipper fly and the band, it was so long. The tutorial alone was around 20 minutes, so I don't want this video to be too long. That was why I did not add it to it. If you like me to film a separate tutorial on how you can make a zipper fly like this, let me know in the comment section, and I'm going to drop a tutorial on it. So this is the band. It has elastic at the back, like I said. Can you see? Elastic is gathering the back, and then we have 2 pleats, just 2 pleats at the front. So this is what the pant is looking like. You can see the excess that we have there by the side that is forming the cowl. So this is not a really big pants like that. Remember that on the waistline, I measured only 15 inches and then I connected. If you want yours to be very, very full, just split the entire waist. Okay, this everything you have on your waist. Once you take out your crotch and then you measure out your length, just split everything that you have on the waist here. But what that means is that your waist area is going to be bulky. Remember, it's going to be a lot. What you are going to have here is going to be a lot. So you have so many pleats on your waist area. I already have this exact one on the channel, so I just want to try out what something small like this. So that's why I just measured the 15 inches here, which makes my waist, the total of my waist, to be just 60 inches. So it's not going to be so big compared to when you pleat everything. I just pleated, mine was just like half of what we have here. So imagine pleating everything you have here on your waist. So if you want yours to have so many excess cowl effects on the side, or you are working with a softer fabric like this crepe that I'm working with is not a soft fabric. So if I'm having too much pleats here, it's going to be too bulky. That's why I just decided to measure 15 inches and then connect. But if you are working with a softer fabric, let's say a chiffon fabric or fabrics that are soft like that, you can pleat everything here, then you have more fabric to drape by the side. So I'm going to take this to the mannequin so that we can see what this fullness is going to give to us. So this is what our pant looks like. You can see the zipper fly, you can see the band. So you just need to put your buttons and then make your button hole. So you can see how free it is. Let me turn to the side. This is what the side looks like. Can you see the cowl effect that we have by the side? So if you want more, you know what to do. You just need to add more to your waist so that you'll be able to pleat more and then it can drop more by this side. So this is what I have now. This is what it looks like on the other side. It is equally beautiful. I hope you enjoyed making this with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.